Now, right now in the boxing world, it's very, very sad. It's very sad in the boxing world. You know why? Because they're trying to shove fights down our throats that we don't really want to see. Jesus Rodriguez was good. Make sure you tap in that screen, Jesus. Fury and Usyk has been rescheduled to May 18th, I believe. But I don't think that people really want to see this fight. The way that they marketed Fury, right? They used Deontay Wilder to market Fury. And it was supposed to be some big thing that Fury was able to beat Wilder. First off, we don't even know if Fury honestly beat Wilder because there was a glove scandal, a glove gate that was even acknowledged by Francis Ngannou and Mike Tyson. They said that they think that Fury did something to his gloves in the second fight and in the third fight. We will never know. But let's say that Fury beat Wilder fair and square, right? Because I didn't come up here to talk about whether or not Fury cheated. If Fury beat Wilder fair and square, what does that mean? In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't mean much. Deontay Wilder has a hell of a right hand. Deontay Wilder is one of the hardest hitters of all time, but Deontay Wilder was never a skilled boxer. I'm not going to say he wasn't skilled. I'm going to say he was never a highly skilled boxer. Anthony Joshua is the same thing. Usyk beat Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is not highly skilled. That's why he's changing trainers day in and day out. Joshua is more of an athletic specimen. Same thing with Wilder. So it's not like these guys beat Ali or Larry Holmes or Lennox Lewis. They beat up on good fighters, good black men, athletic black men, but they didn't beat up on all-time skilled heavyweights. If y'all in here, make sure y'all tapping the screen. So what is my point? My point is they were trying to build the fight between Fury and Usyk by saying the two best fighters in the world, the two best heavyweights in the world are Caucasian men because this matters to people for whatever reason. Now, I didn't mind that. If Fury and Usyk really were the best fighters in the world, them being white, I wouldn't mind that because it's not necessarily about race. Of course, I would want to see the best in any field to be in my own image, but if that's not the case, you have to be a man. You have to accept that. If y'all in here, make sure y'all tapping that screen. But here's the thing. It's not true that the best fighters, the best heavyweights in the world are white men. How do we know this? We know this because we watched with our own eyes Tyson Fury lose to Francis Ngannou, who is African. We watched Fury lose to Ngannou, who is African. And they bailed Fury out. We watched Usyk lose to Daniel Dubois, who is from overseas, a brother from overseas. They bailed Usyk out. So my thing is this. If y'all want to put on a super fight between two white boys, that's your business. I don't mind. But don't try to market them like they're the best in the world because it's an undisputed fight. We know that Tyson Fury should have an L on his record. We know that Usyk should have an L on their record. We already watched them lose to two brothers. So I don't believe you is basically what I'm saying. Bro, you're just saying that because they're white. No, I'm not saying anything because they're white. You don't understand the marketing. I just made a video on this, but the Zone was marketing the fight between these two in May 18th. Do you know the pictures that they used? They used a still frame of Tyson Fury hitting Deontay Wilder, and Wilder's bottom lip doing this while Wilder was getting his ass whooped. And then on Usyk, they used a still frame of him giving an uppercut to Anthony Joshua. See, that's how they talk to y'all. They don't talk to you directly about race. They talk to you indirectly. They talk to your subconscious. And they always want to have plausible deniability. So they show two white men beating up on two black men. The public doesn't understand that Wilder wasn't highly skilled. Anthony Joshua wasn't highly skilled. These are just power punchers. Power punchers with a lot of heart and a lot of hard work, so they was able to get belts. Fury and Usyk beat two pretty good heavyweights, two pretty good black men, but they also lost to black men. So my thing is this. If they're going to try to market this Fury and Usyk fight like people really care about it, they have to admit that it's not as big as it once was, since we've seen Fury lose to Francis Ngannou and we've seen Usyk lose to Daniel Dubois. So these are not the best heavyweights in the world. They are not the best heavyweights in the world. We've seen it with our own eyes. The public has seen it. Make sure y'all tapping the screen. Hey, Tyreek, I appreciate you when you tapping that screen. I appreciate that. I saw that. But we got to talk about this and we got to be honest. They trying to shove this fight. They trying to market this fight to us as if it's something that we've never seen, you know, because they want those days, the Jack Dempsey days back, the Cinderella Man days back in the 30s, where the white man was king in boxing. And I wouldn't have cared. If Tyson Fury and Usyk really were the best fighters, I would not care. But the thing is, we watched them both lose. We watched them beat Negroes and we watched them lose to Negroes. Leon, if you're going to say I'm just mad because the best boxers in the world are white, I need you to provide some context. I've been providing context since I stepped on the live. You understand? You're not providing context. So to me, you look like a race fan. Leon, the only good white fighter is Canelo. No, that's not true because your boy Loma is a great fighter. He's white. Why do you bring color up over an event? You don't understand the marketing. If you go look at the way that DAZN was marketing this fight on YouTube, they showed Fury beating on Deontay Wilder. They showed Usyk beating on Anthony Joshua. That wasn't by accident. All right, Leon, I'm going to have to block you because you're not trying to bring anything mental to the conversation. So you guys have to take a step back and understand the marketing. Loma a gatekeeper. What I meant is the only pound for pound fighter is Canelo. Yeah, you're right. The only pound for pound white fighter right now would be Canelo. But Inoue is white as well. In my opinion, Inoue, he's the same race as Canelo. He's the same race as Loma. He just speaks a different language. Inoue is a Caucasian who is in the top of the world. And I have no problem admitting that. The only thing about Inoue that I would say, my only criticism would be, he's in a weight class where the talent pool isn't as rich as like lightweight. I'm mad we won't see Loma versus Tank. Yeah, that's Tank's fault. Hey, G Max, thanks for the follow. Everybody in here, make sure you tap in the live. Those are the two biggest household names in boxing. I don't see the race bait. If you think that Alexander Usyk is a household name in boxing, then I would love to get whatever you've been using. Hook me up with your plug. How you feel about Tank wanting to fight a 150-pounder but not Devin Haney? Is he ducking? Listen, I told y'all before, Tank understands that Devin is a real threat. Devin understands that Tank is a real threat. Tank been ducking that Loma smoke. Yeah, but at this point, Loma has nothing to offer Tank. But there was a time where, yeah, I believe Tank was ducking that Loma smoke. Joshua Wilder, LOL. I mean, I don't understand what that comment means. I'm going to be up here for about an hour. But I just want to let the world know, and this is going on YouTube, I do not believe that the fans really care about this fight. I don't think the fans believe that Fury and Usyk are amongst the best heavyweights in the world. Tank been ducking the Loma smoke. Hey, Soul Negro, thanks for liking the live. I think that the boxing powers are trying to push a racial heavyweight champion. They want it to be, two white men going at it, bring back the good old days type of thing. But at the end of the day, Fury lost to Francis Ngannou. Francis fucking Ngannou, an MMA fighter. Usyk lost to Daniel Dubois with a body shot. So they're trying to push this white on white event. And I don't really think it's really that popular. And I also don't think that it's really credible at this point. Somebody says, cry more about race. This isn't necessarily about racism. I could care less. I'm just pointing it out because I just noticed it. I have a few live ideas that I'm going to be doing. So today this is one of my topics that I've been meaning to cover. Today I decided to cover it. Tomorrow I'll be covering something different. Mr. Catch and M Slipping. Yeah, that's why I had the title. It says what? Fury Usyk. Who wins? I crossed it out and put who cares. Who gives a fuck who wins between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk? Francis Ngannou is better than Tyson Fury. We saw it. Daniel Dubois stopped Alexander Usyk with a body shot. They robbed that man of a chance to be a champion. So who cares about this? We know these two aren't the best in the world. They're just really good. Fury needs to retire. He may need to retire. He may not be the same guy at this point. He had wars with Deontay Wilder. In shape, Andy Ruiz is the best heavyweight in the world. And that's another thing. When are we gonna see Andy Ruiz get a chance at some of these guys? That's another reason. Like, they're forcing this fight on the public. There are other guys out there who we would get a better fight. There's no need to force a white versus white undisputed heavyweight champion. Like, people aren't even that tuned into boxing. Period. Boxing isn't the largest sport in the world. So even if you try to put on a racial pride event, motherfuckers not even really watching anyway. Go do that shit in a different sport. Maybe basketball. You see, they trying to make that more of an international game. How would Andy versus Francis be? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that it's gonna fare well for Francis when he fights Anthony Joshua. Joshua's gonna be under a lot of pressure though, because if Joshua loses to Francis Ngannou as well, that's gonna be so embarrassing, not only for Joshua but for boxing. But if I be a betting man, I would bet my ass and bet my last on Anthony Joshua hurting Francis Ngannou, especially in the later rounds. Excuse me. But Francis Ngannou was breathing hard in those late rounds with Tyson Fury. Joshua's not gonna be breathing like that because of the experience. Jared Anderson versus Francis will be entertaining. Yes, it would be, and it will put Jared to the test. Because one thing about Francis, he goes into the fights with the mentality that he's going to win, that he's the champion. A lot of the contenders, they don't even go into the fight against the champion believing that they could win, believe it or not. So there are men out there who maybe in the MMA, or there may be guys out there lost in the weight class, because there's like 1,200, 1,300 people per weight class. So there's people at the middle, in the middle of the pack of the weight class. They probably got 4 or 5 losses. They could beat a world champion, but they would never get a shot at the world champion. But they could beat the world champion because they believe they could beat the world champion. So if they get a shot at the champion, they would go in there and try to win. This is what happened when Ken Norton was given the chance to fight Ali. Ken Norton was down on his luck. He needed the money. Everything in his life was falling. But he truly believed that he could beat Ali, and he went out there and beat Ali. So there's a lot of guys that could beat the champions. It's just a matter of, are those the guys that's going to get a shot? Most of the fights that we're watching nowadays is all just about maintaining an O. And I'll give you an example. Look on the screen. It says 34-0-1, 21-0. Both of these motherfuckers have lost in front of the entire public. Both of these white boys, Fury and Usyk, have lost in front of the entire public. But they still get to act like they're undefeated. Could Francis beat Joe Joyce? Joe Joyce a bad motherfucker, and he's really big. I think he's like 6'6". Joe Joyce, he broke whatchamacallit, eye socket, Daniel Dubois. He lost to Zhang though. He lost to Zhang. But he's nothing to be played with. But both of these guys, bro, 35 and 37, they're on their way out of boxing. They both should have at least one loss on their record. Fury lost to Ngannou. Usyk lost to Daniel Dubois. Got your likes up. I'm out now. Have a good night. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I got to do this live. Now, I knew that this live wasn't going to be received well. I have more fun lives, but this live is about telling the truth. This live is about propaganda. This live is about mainstream media control. You know what I mean? Hey, Soul Negro, thanks for liking the live. But yeah, both of these men should have a loss on their record. We all seen it. We seen Francis beat this man and Dubois. We seen Daniel, I said Dubois, and then I'm about to say Daniel Dubois. But anyway, we seen Daniel Dubois stop this man Usyk with a body shot. Somebody said, I like chocolate people. Well, we all got our personal preferences. But the point is this. We have to be vigilant. We have to be alert. We have to understand when something is real and when something is fake. This fight is a fake fight. Why is it a fake fight? Because neither one of these motherfuckers should be title holders. They both lost. So they're not the best in the world. People actually think Fury is still pound for pound. Fury might still be pound for pound. He performed horribly against Francis, but it happens. If he didn't train well, or maybe he's not the same since the Deontay Wilder fight. Maybe he didn't get to use the loaded gloves that he allegedly used against Wilder. I don't know. But he could still be pound for pound because of Tyson Fury. All of that experience can't take that away from him. One thing that is interesting, though, is the weight. Fury outweighs this man by 50 pounds. So we know that that's exactly where Fury wants to be. When he has a 50, 60-pound weight advantage, that's when he does his best work, leaning all of his weight on his opponent and being able to absorb their best shots because he has a 50 to 60-pound weight advantage on him. The fact that Deontay Wilder in the first fight came in there like 212 and was able to put this man on the canvas is out of this world. Wilder really truly is an athletic specimen. But yeah, I'll be rambling about this for a minute. Do you like baseball? No. I don't dislike baseball, but I don't watch it. The big people in the heavyweight division have been losing lately. Jared Miller, Tyson Fury, and Joe. In heavyweight, they can afford to lose more because people, they act like heavyweight is so different. They always say, well, one punch could change everything. So you could have 3 or 4 losses in heavyweight right now and still get opportunities. Plus, a no-name heavyweight could still sell tickets because the size. So a lot of heavyweights are taller than 6 foot. They got a lot of mass. People love to see that. Casuals who don't know shit about boxing, they love to see big bodies because they know measurements. Like a woman, she knows when somebody is 6'3". It hits different. You know what I mean? So that's how it is for heavyweights. You're 6'3", you got a lot of mass, that attracts casuals. So heavyweights, they could lose more fights and it's okay. They can still be great. Heavyweight is different. Only one champ retired unbeaten. Facts. If Tank got knocked down as many times as Fury, he would no longer have a career. You could say that, but I would say if Fury had the chin and the punch resistance of Tank Davis, he would have never got knocked down. Because we've seen Tank get hit. We've seen him get cracked. We about to see, listen, the guy that Tank was able to fight, Pitbull Cruz, you're going to see how Pitbull's punches, how Rolly reacts to Pitbull's punches, and then y'all going to know something. Tank has one hell of a chin, whether you want to admit it or not. And the fact that we bringing up Tank, that lets you know Fury and Usyk is really not a big draw. No one's talking about this fight. No one's really talking about this fight. Fury postponed the fight. People weren't mad. People are begging Tank and Devin to fight. You know what I mean? People are begging for other fights. Who you got? Thurman or Tzu? Or Zhu? I don't know. God did say no, except the British people. The British people are talking about it because in Britain they love boxing, but this is supposed to be a global event. It's supposed to be happening in Dubai. The average sports fan is not checking for these 2 old white boys. And it's for 2 reasons. One, there is a certain formula in boxing. Do you understand that the greatest pay-per-view sales of all time involve a black man and a white man, a black man and a black man, or a black man and a Hispanic man? So the constant is a black man. So if you're really trying to turn heads, really trying to sell tickets, you need a black man. If you get him to go up against a white boy, all the racial shit gets involved, you get sell a lot of tickets. If you get him to go up against a Hispanic, all the racial shit comes involved in, sell a lot of tickets. If you get 2 great black men to fight each other, people love to see that as well. Ali and Frazier. We just saw Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence do numbers because people love to see, the top of the top fight each other. Do you think Wilder would do better pay-per-view than Usyk? If Wilder managed his career better, if Wilder had worked on skills and he was able to get the victories against Fury, and then he was able to work up a super fight with Joshua, they would have sold more. But they both lost. Wilder lost and Joshua lost. But if they were skillful as they are powerful and they stayed undefeated, say Joshua beats Usyk and Wilder beats Fury, it would have been great to see those 2 fight each other, and they were undisputed, and they were undefeated still. They would have sold much more than Fury and Usyk. Nobody is truly checking for this fight. They're trying to act like people are, but they're not. No one cares. When Fury and Wilder fought, that was a race fight. Wilder made it a race fight, and that's why everybody was so tuned into it. Because whether people want to admit it or not, they care about race. People would say one thing when they get around in public, but At home, they talk totally different. When they talking to their women, they talk totally different. People care about race. That's why Wilder and Fury sold. It fit the criteria of pay-per-view events. You had a black man and a white man, black versus white. It sold. So there's 3 ways to sell fights: black on black, black on white, or black on Hispanic. White on white doesn't do it. This isn't the 30s. Don't nobody want to see this shit. I think this fight brings us exciting to bro, because Usyk beat AJ, which people didn't see coming. Why didn't you see Usyk? Do you know that Anthony Joshua doesn't have a high skill level in boxing? And I'm not saying that because I think that. He thinks that. That's why he keeps changing trainers, because he wants to learn more skills. Usyk, with his Ukrainian style, they've always focused on skills. Usyk has been working on skills since he was a child. Joshua is more of a great athlete. So yeah, I'm not surprised that Usyk beat Joshua. Who was surprised by that? I wasn't surprised that Fury beat Wilder, but I was surprised that Fury had all of this power in the second fight that he never had before. That was, that was a bit suspicious. Weekend, you heard your boy Wilder got beat up by Fury. Listen, you need to work on your English and your typing skills and your grammar. What's your thoughts on Ngannou? I don't know yet. This fight between Ngannou and AJ is going to tell us a lot about Francis. If Francis could beat AJ, oh Lord, that means that man is just special. Because right now, we could just say maybe Fury is done. Maybe Fury is damaged goods. I mean, he was favored to win, bro. AJ was favored to beat Usyk. Shit, I should have made some money on that. I didn't know he was favored. The fuck, he's already special for what he's done. Yeah, he's special, but it's one fight. So it could be a fluke. Meaning, Tyson Fury could have not trained for that fight. Francis could have just had a good night. Maybe Tyson Fury just got caught with a big hand and then fucked him up for the rest of the night. That's why everything is about a resume, a body of work. So, like, for example, in entertainment, if someone comes out with a hit and they never come out with another hit, you're going to call them a one-hit wonder. You're not going to say, this is one of the greatest performers of all time. They're special. No, you're going to call them a one-hit wonder. The second fight is going to allow us to determine whether or not Francis is a one-hit wonder or whether or not Francis truly is special. Because what Francis did, it could have been due to his excellence, or it could have been due to the negligence of Tyson Fury to be in shape, to take him serious. Just joined. What do you think about Tank against Conor? I'm doing a video on that tomorrow. I have a couple videos coming tomorrow. I was not surprised Usyk won, but it was the way he did it. What do you mean? He won fighting in the same style he always does, jumping in and out. And then using angles, using the Ukrainian angles that they work on all day. Joshua didn't know nothing about that shit. That's why Joshua changed trainers so he could try to expand his knowledge. Keyshawn Davis versus Pitbull, who you got? I got Keyshawn. How did Conor Ben look? I didn't watch Conor Ben last fight, but I heard, didn't he get a stoppage? Didn't he get a stoppage? I'm tired of this shit. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, Keyshawn's so underrated. Keyshawn isn't underrated. He just ain't fighting nobody yet. You gotta stop calling people underrated. The way that you get rated in boxing is beating other great competition. When you beat other great competition, your rating goes up. Is your video gonna be about Tank versus McGregor? No. No, he went 12 rounds. Seems his power is gone. His last fight, I didn't watch his very, very last fight, but I watched the fight before that when he fought that big Mexican that was a little bit bigger than him. And yeah, his power was gone because I think that he's not able to take whatever he was taking. So if he didn't get a stoppage in his fight that you're talking about, that's 2 fights without any stoppages. And this man was going on a knockout crusade. He started his career out without all that power. Then he got all this immense power out of nowhere. Then he gets caught using PEDs, and he says he's eating too much eggs and shit. And now it seems like the power is gone now that they're watching him and regulating his every move. If I was a fighter, if I was a boxer, I wouldn't even fight somebody like Conor Ben. Like, I'm an amateur boxer, but if I'm pro and I know that you've done any type of steroids ever in your career, like Floyd fought Manny Pacquiao. He made Manny get drug tested, but Manny most likely, allegedly, was on drugs. at some point. Do you understand that steroids, they change your biology. They change your biology. So your body is always going to be enhanced even when you stop taking the steroid. So those fighters who use PEDs, they should be banned from the sport forever. They should not be able to come back. They should not be put in timeout. They should be banned. This is not baseball. This is not basketball. This is boxing. So you out here, you could potentially kill a man, and you're cheating. So Conor Ben should be banned from the sport. Canelo should have been banned. Pacquiao should have been banned. The reason, and this live is about a lot of racial shit, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The reason why they allow guys to come back on the steroids is because if there was no steroids in sports, the sports would be even blacker than what they already are. So the steroids allow different people to be able to compete and to dominate who otherwise wouldn't be able to dominate. Why the hell does Tank want to fight a steroid user? That feels like a bigger risk than Haney. I don't think Tank really wants to fight Conor Ben. I think that y'all be taking Tank tweets too serious. Tank already said he just does what he just says crazy shit from time to time. Floyd's failed a blood test. Floyd's never failed a blood test. Floyd used illegal IVs, but then he got cleared to use those IVs, and it was water. Because I guess when you take something intravenous, it can refill your body quicker. So Floyd, he did a little slick shit, and he got away with it. But I don't know. Maybe Floyd did take something in his career, but he's never been caught nowhere near taking anything. So I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. People are saying that maybe Terrence Crawford is on something because of his immense power. I'm doing a video about that tomorrow. Floyd took cortisone shots. No, he didn't take cortisone shots. He just had IVs of water, hydration, liquid substance to his body. He took it intravenously. So if that's a word, intravenously, I don't know. My bad, that was Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, Roy Jones, he took that he took that shit, allegedly. But his testosterone levels were unnatural. So Roy Jones should have been banned. Fuck the highlights. Fuck all that Superman shit. He should have been banned. Make sure y'all tapping the screen. Cortisone shots for his hands early in his career. A cortisone shot is not necessarily illegal. A cortisone shot is not necessarily illegal. It depends on how you're using it. So yeah. The real Laney B, thanks for joining the live. Hit the link if you want. Cortisone shots for his hands early in his career. People think that Bud's glove in his Spence fight was a little suspicious. Bud's gloves, for whatever reason, they look real pointy. I think he has very large hands, though. I did a video on his hands. His hands are larger than Shakur's, larger than Haney's, larger than Tank's. But Bud started out at lightweight. So he has long limbs, very large hands. So I think that he gets a glove that has more space, that's like a longer size glove. But I'm not gonna lie, his gloves do look sketchy. Like you don't see, his gloves look different than any other gloves. But maybe that's because it's the size of his hands, or maybe he's cheating. I don't know. Somebody said, nah, I remember you. Where you remember me from? Who wins, Prime, Roy Jones, or Canelo? Roy would embarrass Canelo. He would do the same thing that he did to who was that Hispanic fighter that Roy fought? I can't think. Vinny Pazienza. Roy would do Canelo like he did Vinny Pazienza. You was the one who said Conor McGregor wasn't white and he was part black. Yeah, that's true though. Conor McGregor is Irish. His lips and nose look more like mine than like yours. The black man and sometimes a black woman, they were ruling in Ireland during the Middle Ages. So there's a portion of our Irish people who have black DNA because of that. You said they come from Europe, but Europe is originally a black land. Before Europe was ruled by my people, it was actually ruled by the sons of Japheth, and they were people of color as well, but they weren't the same race as me. So I'm black. I don't know what race you are. You have to, I don't know. A lot of people really don't know their race because once you start going back in history, you may have a great-great-great-grandfather who's black or whatever. Somebody say Europe is what? John Jones said, yeah, Europe is originally a black land. Before Europe was ruled by my people, it was ruled by another people of color called the Sons of Japheth. The Caucasians, they started to take over, and they were able to gain full rulership by the 1800s. But once you become a ruler, you could change the history books. Race ain't real, bro. White people invented. No, race is real. Race is very real. But I'm not really gonna get too much into it no more. I don't care that much. I want to focus on boxing. Have you seen the clip of Derrick James checking Bud's gloves and looking at him with a funny face? Yeah, Derrick was just mad that Errol got that ass whooped though. But my thing is this: if you Derrick James, you should have been checking the gloves before the fight, not after the fight. Vinny Paziano was Italian, but he's not Mexican. Oh, thank you, appreciate that. Why you think Bud cheating? I don't think Bud was cheating, but I don't put anything past anybody. Bud has a lot of power, crazy amount of power. It could be natural, it could be cheating. The only reason why I brought it to the attention of the live is because a lot of people assume that Bud has been cheating, so I talk about it. I don't think he's cheating, and I hope he's not cheating. I think that Bud is just, a dark-skinned Ray Robinson. He fights like Ray Robinson. He has 74-inch reach like Ray Robinson. He has power in both hands like Ray Robinson. Only thing is, Ray Robinson only fought out of one stance. Bud can fight in southpaw and orthodox. Conor McGregor is white, and you're mad. He did well as an athlete. Why would I be mad that Conor did well? I already told you that Conor's lips and nose look more like mine than yours. Conor's facial structure looks more like mine than yours. So if I think that Conor is black, why would I be upset that he did well as an athlete? There's a lot of white people walking around who have a great 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 grandfather who's black. It is what it is. It's black people who walking around who dark as night, but their great 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 grandfather is Caucasian, so they're Caucasian, man. You need to tell your man to spar him after taking you to the. Oh yeah, I'm not trying to say it in the loud. No, I'm not gonna spar him. He did it on an accident. I'm white and my grandmother is black. It don't really matter what your mother is about what your father is. The man carries the seed, so if you plant an apple seed in China and you plant an apple seed in America, the apple might grow different, but it's still going to be an apple. You're not going to get grapes or a banana from an apple seed. Do you think Thurman said anything racist in his press conference? Nah, I don't know. I didn't watch the press conference. What are you referring to? If y'all in here, make sure y'all tapping the screen. True. Also, black families can turn into white families or the other way around over time. Well, phenotypically speaking, yeah. Like phenotype, a family could go from looking black to looking white, but a family is only ever one thing. Like an individual could look however they look on the outside, but their genetic structure and their seed doesn't change. Their seed can be traced all the way back to the beginning. Tyson Fury has the best physique in boxing. Yeah, he has a dad bod. Nord, thanks for liking the live. I don't think he did. I'm Mexican. What did he say though? You saying did Thurman say something racist, but you're not giving me the context. What you think about Tyson Fury's gloves? I think Tyson might have cheated in the Deontay Wilder fight. Francis Ngannou and Mike Tyson, they said that they made it a fact that they were going to check the gloves of Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury's power, the immense power that he showed in the second and third fight against Wilder, none of it showed up against Francis. Is that because Francis weighs more than Wilder? Is that because Francis has a larger head and better punch resistance than Wilder? I don't know. Big Chico's, thanks for the gifts. Tank is so inactive that he could never be our glorious king, Devin Haney. I don't call men our glorious king, so I don't know what you're talking about. KJI or KJ1, whatever, stands for King Johnson the First. I look at myself as a king. So I don't really have no king. Thurman, hey, Big Chico's, thanks for the rose. Thurman says Zoo fights like a flat-footed Mexican. Well, most Mexicans, when we're talking about boxing, they don't have great footwork. They are flat-footed. They make up for it by having good chins most of the time, being extremely tough, being extremely rugged. Their inside game is usually better. Their ability to, their punch resistance. These are the things that get them over the hump. So in life, different races are given different advantages and disadvantages. Overall, Mexicans, they have flat feet, but they make up for it in other ways. And I said overall, so that doesn't mean every Mexican is gonna have flat feet. I mean, Salvador Sanchez has some of the best footwork you're gonna see. I'm a Mexican. I know many with amazing feet work. My God, no, you just lying. That's what you are. You a lion king. Thurman will beat Tim. His flat feet will cause him his loss. I think Thurman gonna be too fast for Tim. Thurman was too fast for Barrios. Barrios is flat footed. I'm Mexican and my feet are flat as a pancake. It is what it is, man. If you want to be a boxer, just make sure you have a tough chin. If you can fight on the inside, you're gonna beat 80% of boxers. Most boxers don't know how to fight on the inside. Cause to learn how to fight on the inside, you gotta take an ass whooping. I'm lying. You don't know me. I don't have to know you. I know the makeup, the genetic makeup of most of those people down there. For the most part, they have flat feet when they get in the boxing ring. It doesn't mean that they're bad boxers. When Romain Villa, I don't know if Villa is Mexican, but he's something. Yeah, but anyway, when Villa fought Speedy Ellis, Villa was flat-footed. Ellis was light on his feet, and Villa was able to win because Villa had other gifts. He had pretty decent punch resistance. He had nice body shots. He had constant pressure. He had great stamina. His stamina was so great where he was throwing power punches from round 1 to round 12. It made me question whether or not he was on something. Derailed, thanks for following the law. That's because Mexican style requires to be plant-footed when throwing hooks and uppercuts. It's not that the Mexican style requires it. It's that the Mexican people are flat-footed on average. It's not that the style requires it. Their style is based off of their physical limitations. That's why they built a style and they call it Mexican style. Basically, the Mexican style is, look, I can't move to the left and to the right in an instance. I don't have great lateral movement. So I have to sit here and trade and I have to walk guys down and be a tough guy. That's the style. It's based off of something that most of them can't do. Most of them can't jump in and out of range in an instance. I haven't heard from Speedy Ellis since. I hope that Speedy doesn't allow that to ruin his career. So what? You lost the fight. Fuck it. I mean, Speedy, he knows how to dance in the middle of the fight. He knows how to get the crowd involved. So basically, black style is running. No, black style is not running. Black style is elegance. The reason why y'all call it running is because y'all are emotionally immature. But that's good because if you're in this live, then you have the opportunity to grow as a man. Just because on average black fighters have more footwork, you don't have to call it running. You could just say that's a very great thing that y'all have. Y'all have a lot of foot speed. And then if you're really competitive like me, you start thinking of ways to break down someone's foot speed. Or you can continue being emotionally immature and call it running. Exactly. So Freddie V decides to double down on his emotional immaturity. And that's all right. Most people are like that. Somebody said elegance. Please elaborate. When I say that the black style or the style based off footwork and in and out movement is elegance, basically look at Lomachenko. Because Loma is white, it's going to be easier for you to accept his gifts. When Loma is jumping in and out, making guys miss, and he's calculating distance and countering, timing, all of that shit, doing that in real time in half-second intervals, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Black fighters do that all the time, but y'all don't want to put no barbecue sauce on it because y'all are being emotionally immature. You understand? Y'all letting y'all racial bias get in front of y'all eyes. Y'all thinking with y'all heart and not y'all head. As men, you really can't afford to do that. That's how you end up in the grave. Loma had the best footwork in boxing at the moment. See, when Loma does it, it's footwork. Floyd does it, he's running. So these are inconsistencies. Tank does it, he's running. What do you call Pac-Man style? I call Pac-Man style an athletic style, a gambler style. Because Pac-Man, he left his chin out. You can't fight like Manny Pac-Man unless you have a really big cranium, a really hard cranium, a great chin, and a tough upbringing. The way that Pacquiao fought, he fought like a wild dog. And Freddie Roach helped him out with angles and trying to polish him up, but he still fought really wild. Who's the face of boxing? Tank Davis is on Canelo's ass right now. Can you even fight, bro? You can go watch my fights in a tab on my TikTok channel, KJITV. 9 times out of 10, I know you don't fight, though, because most people who talk about the sport of boxing, they don't fight, and that's okay. I don't think that my opinion is any better than yours just because you don't fight. Some people just have a good eye. Who you think is the number one prospect? Number one prospect? What you mean? Like Kermo Morton probably? I'll fight you on any day, bro. Okay, sure you will. What's your name? Your name is Jenna? You a man and your name Jenna? What's your name, bro? Put your name in the chat, cause your profile say Jenna. I like you, respect your decision. You're biased as hell. Explain how I'm biased. See how you mention Tank and can't give Canelo his credit? I give Canelo his credit all the time. I say Canelo is an all-time great. Canelo is an all-time great, but I think he's ducking David Benavidez. The reason why y'all call that being biased is because y'all are idolaters. We're living in a time of high idolatry. So when y'all see somebody with money and women and perceived success, y'all don't want anybody to say anything critical about them because you're an idolater. There's nothing wrong with that. Just own it. Don't try to say that I'm biased because you really the biased one. Can Tank Davis sell out football stadium that not a big fight like Canelo? Basically what you're saying is, can Tank Davis sell out stadiums like Canelo? The thing is this. Tank Davis is on the pay-per-view all-time list, him and Ryan Garcia. Canelo hasn't made the top 10 list since he was 23 years old because he was fighting Floyd Mayweather. So y'all got to be consistent, bro. Y'all got to be consistent. And all of y'all in here, a lot of y'all got a nice Mexican fan base in the chat. I want to thank y'all because y'all helping me push the live because I'm tired for real. But y'all are asking good questions. Sometimes y'all hating, but y'all helping me push the live. Thank you, because I'm tired, so I need extra assistance. Ryan Garcia carried that pay-per-view. Before Ryan fought Tank, Ryan's pay-per-views could not hold a candle up to Tank Davis's pay-per-views. Tank was doing 250K on his own. Everybody needs a dance partner. Ali needed Frazier. Floyd needed Manny. Does that mean you're going to consistently posting on TikTok again? For the moment, yeah, I'm going to be posting on TikTok because they started paying me. So I'm going to be posting on TikTok. I'm going to be doing 4-fight breakdowns on Patreon. I'm going to be going live probably once a day and posting these on YouTube. And then we're going to go from there. Wait, Canelo hasn't made what since 23? Oh, okay, D. You listening now. You listening, okay. Canelo hasn't made the top 10 pay-per-view all-time list since he was 23 years old when he fought Floyd. Tank Davis, recently when he fought Ryan Garcia, broke top 10. I believe they're the 6th most or the 5th most bought fight of all time. The man said, you look tired. I am tired. I'm only going to be up here for another 15 to 20. Oh, snap. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I know a lot of people don't want to give Tank his credit. Whenever I bring it up, they say, well, Ryan did it. Ryan did it. Ryan. No, Tank Davis is on Canelo's ass. If Tank Davis were fighting Devin Haney right now, it would skyrocket him. I don't know why they waiting. If you lose, you lose, but you have a chance to be a legend. You might as well go ahead and take it. But collectively, Canelo has racked more than Tank, and bet Canelo has more cash. That's cool. I don't really count other men's money. I mean, if we're going to do the money argument, Floyd has more money than Canelo. So, boom. Floyd made the most money out of any boxer. Because your comment, I could tell, is more of a racial comment. We talking about pay-per-view, bruh. The pay-per-view is this. Tank Davis broke records. He broke Canelo's record when Canelo fought Floyd. And Canelo hasn't touched the top 10 since he was 23. So it is what it is, man. The people, they want Tank Davis. Whenever I make a live about anybody else, people bring up Tank Davis. I'd rather fighters fight the best man than keep being undefeated and not fighting the best. Won't we all, bro? Wouldn't we all? Hey, Fat Boy, thanks for liking a lot. So what's the biggest confirmed fight so far this year? The damn sure ain't this. My man said, how is that racial? It was racial because he bringing up money, and he was bringing up money really for no reason. So basically, he was just trying to say, well, Canelo is still better than Tank. And he was doing it because he Mexican and Canelo Mexican. No, when I say pay-per-view, right, I'm talking about the pay-per-view sales. You talking about longevity. Oh, Canelo has more money than Tank. He's cashed out more than Tank. The point is this. In the all-time records, Tank Davis beat out Canelo. And a lot of y'all don't know this, but Canelo is he's a media push star. He is a configured star. He's not a real superstar. They pushed Canelo down people's throats, and they tried to market him like he was going to be the next Floyd. He couldn't fit in Floyd's shoes. At the end of the day, there's no reason why Tank Davis should be breaking Canelo's record, and Canelo shouldn't be in the top 10 when he's been the face of boxing for the last decade. He hasn't been in the top 10 since he was 23 years old. That's it. Because he's a contrived superstar. The reason why they allow Canelo to get these fights where he's not really fighting the best, and they claim he's selling all these papers, making all this money, and they're paying him all these big deals. Canelo is a white face. He's Mexican, but he doesn't look like a Mexican. Number one, he's ginger. Number two, he could pass just for a regular Caucasian. So that's what they like. They like to see somebody that looks like them who's dominant, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all like to see, there's a lot of black people that be hating, but there's a group of black people that like to see other black people dominate. But there's a lot of black people that be hating, so I can't say we all. But other and Canelo, he looks Caucasian, so the white boys that run boxing, they allow him to get leeways and they allow him to get money and shit that he otherwise wouldn't be getting. They allow him to win fights that he probably should lose. Your comments on Canelo are racist. No, they're not. I said Canelo is an all-time great. He's a Mexican, but he looks Caucasian, so it allows him more favor in the boxing world. It's basic. It's common sense. It's not like, what the fuck, bro? Like 2 plus 2 is 4. Do you think Usyk is overrated, underrated, or properly rated? I think this fight between Fury and Usyk is an overrated fight. They're trying to market this fight like it's some grandiose event. Like, wow, undisputed heavyweight. But we watched both of these motherfuckers lose. Tyson Fury should say 34-1-1. He lost to Ngannou. Usyk should say, it should say 33-1-1. Excuse me. Usyk should say 20-1 because he lost to Daniel Dubois and they bailed him out. Talking about a low blow. Everybody that's liking the live, thank you. Give me a top 5 boxer list of all time, please. Top 5 boxers of all time. Floyd. Fucking Ray Robinson. Sam Langford. Hank Armstrong. And I can't put Salvador because his career wasn't long enough. Roberto Duran. That's my top 5. I did a video on it before too. Floyd, Ray Robinson, Sam Langford, Hank Armstrong, and Roberto Duran. I'm Mexican and you know that he would never top Chavez or Mayweather. See, it's some Mexicans, they know that Canelo is not really it. Canelo is a great fighter. He's an all-time great, but he's not the best fighter that we've ever seen. The man has hella losses. He should have more losses. People think he lost to Lara. People think he lost to Triple G. A lot of Canelo's fights in the end of his career has been bullshit fights. Why did you fight Triple G the third time? Nobody wanted to see that. By that point, Triple G was triple geriatric. Why did you fight Jamel Cello jumping up 2 weight classes? Why haven't you fought David Benavidez in the past 4 years? Floyd was still fighting the best when he was old. Until his last fight, Floyd was fighting the best. Just like Mayweather has lost. Mayweather don't have no losses, bro. Every fight that you claim Mayweather lost, he rematched the guy and embarrassed him. So there's nothing called into question. You know that Floyd is better than Castillo because Floyd gave Castillo a rematch. Bro, you joking. Canelo has fair skin, but so do many Mexicans. Look, you don't know anything about Mexican history. The land that y'all call Mexico was inherited by people that look like me. You can go look at the murals of Bonampak or Bonampak, however the hell you pronounce it. But the Mayans and the Aztecs, they painted themselves, and they painted themselves like bald-headed black men. You can go look at the paintings. Like, there's really no such thing as somebody being Mexican. It's not Mexican, it's not a race. Bro, you wild. Okay, cool. I'm wild because Caucasians came into power in the 1600s and they lied to the world and shit. I'm wild. I'm wild because I read. Look, it's not my job to educate you. It's your father's job. I'm up here trying to talk about this boxing shit. I'm getting tired. I'm only giving y'all 10 more minutes so I can have an hour of content for YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Y'all been doing me well. Y'all been doing me right, YouTube. Fury or Usyk? I got Fury winning. I don't like betting against Fury, for real. Fury has a 50-pound weight advantage over Usyk. Fury does really well when he's able to put his fat on a smaller opponent. Kambosos is mid, in my opinion. Exactly, Kambosos is mid. He's definitely mid. Mr. Bonafide, thanks for the follow. Tank versus Garcia did 1.2 million. Canelo versus Triple G did 1.3 million. Do your research and stop lying. No, you need to do your research and go look up the all-time list. Canelo versus Triple G is not on the all-time top 10 list. So you just talking out your ass. Talking about some do your research. Camboso's mid in everybody's opinion. Yeah, everybody know Camboso's not it. So then you had to question yourself, why is Lomachenko fighting Cambosos instead of fighting Shakur Stevenson? That's why Shakur is retiring, because Shakur, he tired of the games. Like, in boxing, there's race politics. These fans act like they don't see it, or maybe they really don't see it. If they really don't see it, then they probably just slow. But there's race politics in boxing. They try to protect fighters of other races. Like, they protected Pacquiao from Terrence Crawford. They protected Loma from Shakur. A bunch of people overhyped Kambosos to elevate Devin for beating him. No one cares about elevating Devin. Devin don't need to elevation by Kambosos. Devin beat Lomachenko. You understand, D? So it doesn't make sense. Devin doesn't need anybody to ever mention Kambosos ever again to help his legacy. He beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko at one point was number one pound for pound. Marco Fuentes says, I'm out. Peace. Loma was not robbed. Loma lost. He knows he lost. Somebody shared the live. Thanks, Chris. But at the end of the day, I don't know why y'all so shocked that Loma lost to Haney. Loma lost to T.O. Loma lost to Salido. So it is what it is, bro. Like, Loma isn't some unbeatable fighter. He shouldn't even have been fighting at lightweight. His best weight class is 130. That's why he's losing. Because these guys are bigger than him, and Loma only fights in one style. So do you think Wilder will retire as an all-time great? Yes. His resume really isn't an all-time great resume, but what he was able to do with that right hand is going to be talked about forever. So even if they didn't put Wilder in the Hall of Fame, like, he's in the Hall of Fame amongst people. Thoughts on Errol Spence Jr.? Errol Spence Jr. is a great boxer, bro. When are you going to put your racial bias to the side and be unbiased? Your name is Baby Mama Kid. That's a good name for you. Boxing Hall of Fame is what? Sped? I don't know. How you feel about Linares? He a good fighter. Wilder all time at heavyweight is crazy. Well, Wilder's going to be remembered all time because of his power. He's always going to be remembered. But his resume is not an all-time resume. Read what I said. Make that make sense, bro. What does that mean? Bro, you going to have to retype what you said. I'm not scrolling up to try to find no damn comment. Teal versus Ortiz prediction. I got Teal. Canelo or Crawford. Crawford is too small in my opinion. Crawford is a better boxer though, but Canelo shouldn't be fighting Crawford. He should be fighting David Benavidez. You don't think Loma trying to win the belt first, then unify versus Shakur? Bruh, they don't. Shakur fucking retired. Loma does not want to fight Shakur. Bob doesn't want Loma to fight Shakur. Bob knows what'll happen. Loma knows what'll happen because of their sparring sessions. I personally think Haney overrated. I mean, state your case. Why do you think Haney's overrated? Does Rolly know he can't beat any of the dudes at 140, so he picked Cruz? No, Cruz is a dangerous fight. Rolly was set to fight Ryan. Ryan would have been a much easier fight for Rolly Romero to have a chance of winning. Cruz is dangerous. Even though he's smaller, Cruz has better defense than Rolly. Cruz throws power punches for 12 rounds. I don't think Rolly's going to win that fight. And really, to be honest with you, I don't think the PBC wants Rolly to win that fight. Who do you have winning, Wilder or Fury 1? Fury. No. This is the thing. It was a long count, so Wilder won that fight, but Fury was outboxing Wilder in that fight. Ryan team is destroying his career. No. You have an 80s detective haircut. I just look good regardless, bro. Top boxers need to stop sparring with top boxers. That doesn't make sense, Sheikah Crawford, because the top boxers, as you said, are the top boxers. So if they want to get top work, quality work, who else are they going to spar with? If you're a top boxer, you can't really get the best work sparring somebody off the street or sparring a mid-drift, midland boxer. I love the content, bro. Keep it up. Thanks, Mickey Cobain. I like how you looked up at haircut. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Haney or Davis? I'm going with Haney at 140, especially like at 140. At 135, I would have had to pick Tank. I can't read that comment, GG. It's just the trolling is just too much. Like, I can't do it. I can't wait until Canelo finally fights Benavidez. I'm gonna make so much money. Yeah, me too. I can't. If he's never gonna fight him, but bruh, so many Mexicans think Canelo gonna fight Benavidez, and Canelo will get stopped. Like they think he will beat Benavidez. He's gonna get stopped. Like you gonna make if you bet on Canelo versus David Benavidez and you bet on Benavidez, Canelo's gonna be the favorite. Boy, you gonna make so much money. Once they spar, then they don't want the real fight because they know they can't win. Nah, Sheikah Crawford, that's false. Floyd Mayweather and Zab Judah sparred and then they fought. Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis sparred and then they fought. That's just the history of boxing. What you stating is something that you would think. You would think that if you spar somebody and they get the best of you, you don't want to fight. But sparring is not an actual fight. There are some fighters, like Ali used to do this. Ali would spar a man, let the man beat up on him, and be taking notes on that man's best punches and shit like that. And also allow the man to think that he has the one up on him. But then if they get in a fight, Ali will show you different things that he didn't show you in the sparring. So it's deeper than than what you're expecting. You expecting somebody to say, "Oh damn, he whooped my ass, so I probably gonna beat him in the fight." Sparring is totally different from a fight. In fact, when you sparring, a lot of times you're not even in shape. You're not in fight shape until like the last couple of days before the fight. You spend the entire camp getting in shape. So some fighters, they look good when they're out of shape. Some fighters look horrible when they're out of shape. There's so many factors that you have to consider. That's why Ali has 5 losses, right? Ali has 5 losses because Ali was out there having sex right before the fight. Go read up on Ali. He was a bad boy. He did things that other fighters wasn't doing. Before the fight with Joe Frazier, when he got his jaw broke, he was having sex with women of the night. Before the fight with Ken Norton, he was doing the same thing. And the later losses in his career, like the loss to Leon Spinks, he should have been retired. He was old. He was washed up. So Ali, a lot of his losses, they're his fault. He was not disciplined at all as a fighter. He was a bad boy. He was wild. He was out there in the streets for real. What's left for Spence? 154. Greatness. Everybody that was liking the live, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to give y'all 10 more minutes and I'm out. Because I got to get up and go to the gym. Ali only lost after a 3-year layoff. Only Frazier beat a prime Ali. Frazier never fought a prime Ali. Ali was never the same after the layoff. Before the layoff, Ali was one of the fastest heavyweights we've ever seen. Where does Bud go next? I don't know. Bud is trying to fight Canelo, so he's trying to go up to 168. I think he's crazy, but, I mean, for the money, who cares? After 3 years, he was still prime. No, he wasn't. Ali never fought like how he fought in the 60s. When Ali came back, he could not fight on his toes for 15 rounds ever again. That Ali was gone. That was his prime. He never came back. It's not like he was staying in shape. Bro, you were not born. I wasn't born during a lot of events. Does that mean I'm supposed to be ignorant of the event? Don Judah, I expected better out of you. I like the channel. Just hate Canelo hate. Is he a legend? Yeah, Canelo's a legend. He's an all-time great fighter. I think Bud can take Canelo. It's possible, but I don't think Bud's gonna win. I think Canelo's too big. Canelo's a small fighter. He walks around. Okay, they're trolling. Anyway, a dog. Anyway, is a dog. Bud's so clean. Yup, Bud is a very precise fighter. Why was Haney so interested in going to 147? The rumor has he wanted to fight Josh Taylor. I think Terrence stops Canelo. You tripping. Even if Bud beat Canelo, he not stopping him. Canelo claps Bud. Possible. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the live up. But one thing I want y'all to remember is Fury versus Usyk. Do you want to know who wins? I want to know who cares. So I'm going to go right back to where I started. They want us to be all gung-ho over this white boy heavyweight championship, but both of these white boys then lost to black fighters. Fury is supposed to be 33-1-1. He lost to Francis Ngannou, the African. Usyk lost to Daniel Dubois, the British guy. Supposed to be 21. So nobody cares that these two white boys meeting up. In boxing, if you want to make money for a pay-per-view, there's a certain formula that you have to follow. Either you're going to get a black man versus a white man, and it's going to be a big race fight. It's been like that since the Jack Johnson days. You're going to get a black man and a black man. It's going to be a super skilled, super will fight like Ali and Frazier. Or you're going to get a black man and a Hispanic man. And that's it. That's just what it is. you're saying it's racist, but when you look at the top 10 all-time pay-per-view selling fights, it involves black men. You need a black man. They're trying to force this down people's throats, and nobody gives a fuck. I'm not talking about, this is not about racism or trying to be racist. It's not about that. It's about facts. Go look up the top 10 all-time pay-per-view list. There's no fight that contains two white boys because no one cares. At one time, maybe I would have cared about this fight, but when I saw that the referees and the powers that be bail out both of these motherfuckers when they lost, I knew that it was the fix was in. We need to invent new races, and yeah, man, you tripping. It's not racist, bro. Listen, all right, I'm gonna have to end the live, but this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. When y'all in here, I need you to think with your head and not your heart. All right, this is different from the shit that you watch on TV. This real talk. This that locker room talk, that back room talk. You know what I mean? This not the shit that they tell you when you go to school when they trying to make you put your guard down. All right. So this is a space where you're gonna become a better person. You know, you're gonna use your brain more. You can become more manly, more masculine, because you're looking at things through a proper lens. All right, not an ideal lens. You're looking at things through a real lens, and that's how I'm gonna end the fucking shit. Day 2560 asking for the skincare routine. I don't do skincare. All I do is work out. You need a black fighter or a Mexican fighter to make money. That's damn near facts. I mean, the only fight that kind of stands out is the Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao fight. Manny really put on because nobody never has there ever been a Filipino fighter with that much charisma. So Manny, he really did shake up the formula, but a lot of that was Floyd too. We still had the constant. We still had the black man. Nah, bro, you are hyper-racial. You from the U.S. That's why. I'm not hyper-racial. I mean, maybe you're right. The U.S. is a racialized environment. I'm a product of my environment, but I'm out.